So yeah, back again. So I actually did this video about a minute ago, and then the camera fell right down. Yeah. Anyways, so I get a text message today from Chris telling me that whilst I'm at the gym, yeah, did you hear? John Jones got his license revoked. And now, obviously, I knew his hearing would be this week, but he's saying, yeah, his license got revoked, and he's got to pay this hefty fine, and yeah, he's pretty much screwed. So hence why this video is a bit late, also because you need to get as much information as you can. So I've watched a few things and read a few things up on it, and I've been reading about the case, and this is just my quick thoughts on it. It's like where do I begin? It's like every year since 2012, it's like there's a John Jones news story, and not a good one. I would rather be doing a video talking about him fighting Stipe Miocic. I'd rather do a video about him breaking a championship record, or having an amazing performance, or becoming a massive pay-per-view draw and a role model to the rest of the up-and-comers in the sport. Instead, I am doing videos every year, it seems, to do with something that he's screwed up in, and his poor decision making. And it's like those words that, actually I want to get back to that later. Actually, to touch on it now, it's like what Rashad Evans said about him all those years back, that the John that he's trying to portray is not the John that I know, and you're setting yourself up for a big fall that I don't think you're ready for. And it feels like everything that Rashad said back then has all come to light in the last 2 to 3 years. And it's a shame. It's a real shame, because the guy is an amazingly talented fighter, but at the same time has the knack of being the biggest idiot and making some of the poorest career decisions I've ever known. So one of the things that really stood out to me in this commission hearing with California, was it California? Well, the commission hearing that he was in, was the fact that he never even went to a USADA tutorial, and his management were going there for him instead and forging his signature. And when you hear that, it's like, I can't even take you seriously anymore. Jeez. And as far as I'm concerned, you should get new management. And from what I understand, they actually said that to him. Do you think that you make bad decisions, and have you ever considered getting new management? And from my understanding, he kind of tried to make a joke about it, which was just I don't think you're really sorry. I think you're more sorry that you've been caught. And for the last week or so, it's been a lot of John Jones is coming back talk. You see videos of him working out and videos of him powerlifting, and Dana's talking about him coming back. And now obviously there's a rumor prior to this that Lesnar and John Jones are going to fight, and everybody seems so cocksure, that's not a dirty word, that he's coming back and he's going to be fighting after the summer. Lesnar and John Jones, the big fight is going to happen. People seem so cocksure about it, and my opinion was, well, you better have one hell of a defense to get you out of this mess and get reinstated. And then you hear the defense and you hear everything out there, and the defense is just not strong. And now it's like your career is in the hands of USADA now. And he, from what I understand, he can apply for a license, but the commission won't accept it until his USADA stuff is done. And that means USADA have to say the length of the suspension. So they're saying between 18 months to 2 years is the length. And it's just well, and how old is he now? What is he, 30, 31? 30? Yeah, he's in his 30s, right? And that's another that's more time inactive that he can't afford to have. It's just man, there are people that you meet in your life that could do amazing things, but they screw it up for themselves, and then they put themselves in and it's at what point do you learn? And it's really weird, actually, because going back to his Twitter feed, he was writing some things to all the haters and blah, blah, blah. It kind of reminded me of Chris Brown, which is a weird comparison. But this very arrogant statuses, he's oh, I'm getting away with it, I'll be back, blah, blah, blah. And it's just you have the potential to be one of the biggest stars in the sport, a pay-per-view draw, a all-time great, and after the second Cormier fight, it's like, look at all the lineups for you: Gustafsson, Stipe, Lesnar, and the company really are going to have to rely on you because they don't have a lot of draws right now, and they need you. And it's like, can the company even rely on him anymore? So I'm just venting. It's so frustrating because like, but there's just a level of arrogance there that I just feel really needs to be addressed. It's like, how can you have your management go into your USADA tutorials and forge your... That just tells me right there that you're not taking it seriously. And if I were USADA and I hear that, I mean, that's a red flag right away that you're up to something. And I wonder what spin Malky the Spin Dr. Kawa is going to put on this. And oh, it's unfair. It's just like... John really needs to surround himself with better people. Some people that are actually going to... Listen, if I was his manager and he said to me with a straight face, right, oh, can you go into my USADA tutorial and then just put my signature on it? If he said that to me, I'd slap him upside his head, drag him by the scruff of his neck, throw him in there and say, you better take this, you better pay attention, and you better sign those forms, or else. This is what happens when you surround yourselves with yes men and people who aren't sincere. But that and just, jeez. Anyways, I'm going to stop because I really better not get worked up and start swearing. But it's just this classic tale of someone with so much skill and talent, but screws it up for themselves. I mean, jeez. Guys, let me know what you think. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.